I'm dying.
We're in for a wild night.
Welcome everyone to episode 288 of Born to be Wild, a Wild Hearthstone podcast where we have fun, hanging with friends, talking about the formats of Wild Hearthstone, and spotlighting members of the Wild community. I'm your host, Hydralisk. It's great to be back on this wonderful Friday evening here in beautiful British Columbia. I am joined by my fellow host, ElectricSheepCity.
Meowdy.
And Schmoopydady.
I gained 100 armor.
The next part says it's supposed to be me, but that's I didn't fix it yet. I worked really hard today.
I understand. I was just being snotty.
You snot.
For those of you joining us for the first time, welcome aboard. We record this podcast live every Friday evening at twitch.tv/borntobewildhs. And the video version of this podcast is posted to YouTube shortly thereafter. Audio versions are also distributed to all of the podcast apps. However you are watching, listening, or absorbing via osmosis this podcast today, thank you. Yes. You. Thank you too.
Content plug, Schmoopydady. Before we get into the main topic of the show tonight, I'd like to say a quick thank you to the patrons of our show. Your support means the world to us. If you enjoyed this content, please like, subscribe, and comment on our video on YouTube. Another simple way to support the show is to leave a review on your podcast platform of choice. If you're watching live on Twitch, we got some awesome emotes that you can unlock by subscribing to the channel. This is free if you use Amazon Prime. Finally, if you'd like to support the show financially, you can join our Patreon for as little as $1 per month. We have some channels in the Discord that are unlocked by subscribing to the Patreon, where you can see the show coming together each week. Check it out. If you'd like to interact with us personally, please join our Discord, a free and amazing online community of friends from all across the world who love talking about Wild Hearthstone. Link to all this stuff and more, including our merch, can be found on our website, which is www.borntobewildhs.com. Hydra, how's your week?
My week has been really good. It's been getting kind of warm around here, and I fear if you've been listening for a while, the times where we get to the point where Hydra's not allowed to use his air conditioning while recording the podcast, and it's ridiculously hot. So like I set everything as low as possible before the show, and then when we record, turn it off, because if y'all remember, my AC sounds like I am and you are and everyone else is inside like a jet engine. So we can't have that.
I mean,
right?
it's a pretty cool special effect when it's intended, but
maybe when we have that expansion that we're inside a jet engine expansion,
the jet engine expansion, the best expansion, some might say.
Hopefully coming in 2027, the year of the sheep, please.
I can't wait for coolant, Druid.
A sheep with wings. Coolant Druid. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
this sounds amazing already.
I want to play Mario Kart Hunter.
Oh, all of the things. They all sound amazing. Anyway, so it's getting hot. And that's fine. I like the hot weather. I just don't like it when I have to turn the AC off, but that's fine. It's a small sacrifice to make to talk to my best buds for a couple of hours on a Friday night. So I finished the second book in my series, that The Passage by Justin Cronin, and I'm on the third, and I've dove into, I'm like 10 hours in out of 26 hours on the third book, and I've got a crunch. I have like 7 days left to do like 16 hours. So it's like just over 2 hours a day, 2.5 hours a day. I think if I need to finish, it's possible. I just have to find more chores to do to be able to do that. I'm thinking about like cleaning the roof again. I haven't done it yet this year. So we've got a lot of trees around the yard. get out the leaf blower and some bags and stuff, do that, clean the gutters. I got to do something because it's just because I've been using the library app instead of Audible, right? For a lot of my books recently, and they have a deadline just like a regular library book does. So just trying to get there. Anyway, Schmoopydady claims I'm gonna be super sad, but this isn't like crazy sad. I'm just sad because Sheep's rocking a jersey right now, and I'm not.
It's just a shirt, but it is in support of my team. Yeah.
We root for laundry.
So, I'm not wearing my Edmonton Oilers jersey because last night they were eliminated from the playoffs. Yes, early. Yep, they were eliminated round 1 against the Anaheim Ducks, which was weird because the Ducks have sucked for like quite some time. And they're doing better now. But anyways, it was just brutal because like the Oilers were like a favorite to make it all the way again. Yeah. Like third year in a row, like make it to the finals sort of thing. And nope, there were some, I don't want to get into it too much, but there were some crazy reffing decisions that like gets you going, like getting called on some real BS calls, and then power play happens, getting scored on, and then when you legit get tripped, there's no tripping call, and like all this stuff. Anyway, you could go real deep into it, but it's over. Whatever. I guess less stress.
I don't care
because I don't care. Actually, I was watching the game last night and I turned it off at a certain point because I was like, you know what?
It's one of those.
I'll wake up in the morning, and if we won,
feeling like P. Diddy,
I'll be happy. But I can't sit through this. I'm gonna play like games with my wife and like enjoy my evening. I was like, I can't do it. Anyway, I was gonna say earlier, like this is almost like a full week ago, but like just after the podcast, I was having trouble with the event. You know, like the very first section of the event was like play 400 spells. That was like the first thing you needed to do. And I was like, man, I don't have any like spell decks. I could play some like miracle stuff. Like, I don't know what to do. And I was like, there's like the spell, like it's a demon hunter deck, right? Like a no mini demon hunter. And I was like, you know what? I'm really too lazy to look something up right now. Let's see what happens. So I went to Gemini, Googled Gemini, and I was like, can you make me, because I didn't want to sacrifice any sort of star bonus issue in Wild. So I was like, in Standard, build me the most spell heavy deck you can in Standard. And it's like, no problem, Hydralisk. And it would ship me these deck lists. And I was like, okay. And it gives you the code, right? And it lists its sources. And then I would like copy, paste, and every single time it would be a Wild deck. And I'm like explaining to Gemini, I'm like, do you know the difference between Wild and Standard? It's like, yes, cards rotate out. And as of April, it was like 24th, 2026, this is the best spell heavy deck in Standard. Here's your code. And I was like, okay. And I copied and pasted. It was like this Wild deck of lunacy. I was like,
yeah, AI doesn't know what to do with the decks.
Gemini.
No.
AI is worse at the decks. AI is worse at doing the decks than Twitch chat, which is
new segment.
Impressive.
not.
Schmoopy
Not
plays
great.
AI decks.
No, a lot of them don't
anyway.
work. Like straight up, like
No,
just
they
don't.
They don't.
Like functionally, yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. They don't. I think I talked about this a few months ago, where they would just give me decks with like 17 cards in them or something, and it was. But this time they were actually giving me full lists. They just the AI couldn't figure out like what format it was for, whatever. Anyways. No, you don't need to use AI to build decks. You can use your brain, or you can use sources that we know work, like Donkey HS Replay, like stuff like that. Like that's
The brain part is so optional, man. It's so
it's
optional.
just it's just so funny that like I felt it was
decks, dude.
hilarious that I was arguing with it, and it just like, oh, you're right, I did include wildcards. Here's an updated list for standard. Boom. And it still was like 90% wildcards. Like it wasn't even like close, which was
So here's the thing. AI has now been around for how long? And it's consuming, I mean, I don't know about where you are, but where I am, things are getting more expensive because of data centers. And it still is arguing with you, but telling you you're right. And it's
then being wrong again.
and then making the same mistake, and then you tell it what. Yeah, it's like, oh man, I think it may not be that great, y'all.
I'm starting to really wonder about the wine that I made using ChatGPT that I've got fermenting that I did back in November. I full on just use instructions from ChatGPT to make my wine. So
you may want to run that by someone who knows what
The
they're doing.
bad news? It's not wine. The good news, it is still alcoholic. It's just 140 proof moonshine.
Oh yeah.
I took one sip of it about 3 months after I started the fermentation process. And I'm telling you, like, it had a kick. Like I've never just taken a sip of wine and been like, whoa.
Well,
I put the lid back on, and it's still.
I think we all learned a valuable lesson today.
Anyway, enough about me. You know what? You can do unrelated advice on how not to make wine after I drink it one day. Anyway.
Please check with someone before you properly drink it, because like I want you to still be around for me to.
You can check with me.
ask you.
Drink it. I did the 100%. Just
No,
drink
I
it.
want you to be around for me to ask you too.
Anyways, enough about me. Sheep, how was your week?
It was okay. Not as much sleep as I would hope, but what can you do? On Wednesday night, I had some food poisoning, and so like I was just up with that until like 3, 4. So I took yesterday off work because lingering stomach still, and B, man, I needed to sleep. I would have been useless. I mean, I think I'm performing a little better today, but we'll see. I'm not piloting the show this week, so I'm sorry, Hydra, but also at least I'm not piloting the show this week. Yeah.
Loud and clear.
My favorite sports team, their Houston Rockets are playing in the playoffs, and they're in fact playing tonight. And no team in the history of the NBA has come back from being down in a series 0-3, 3-0, whichever perspective you're talking about, right? The Rockets are started down 0-3. They're currently 3-2. And are looking kind of good. So like maybe 160th time is the charm for
In fairness, same sport. It took forever for a 16 seed to beat a 1 seed in the college the big dance for college basketball. So statistically speaking, records are made to be broken at some point.
That's what I'm saying. And we're doing it without like Kevin Durant, who's our main star. I mean, the Lakers have been without Luka Doncic the entire time, and they got Austin Reeves back last last game.
Very productive.
Yeah, right. So all to say, I've been watching a decent amount of them their dribbly hoops, be it the Houston Rockets or not, because like it's the playoffs. You get to watch typically like consistently good sports, and that's fun for me. That said, the other day there was like at some point in the second quarter of this one game, it was like 77-22. Yeah, that one wasn't particularly close, but it was it was fun to watch for other reasons. So I will stop waxing poetic about the hoops of Dribbly. I'll talk about some exciting decks next week because I'm working on that deck that Schmoopy saw right before, and I'm gonna make it a little less terrible and at least win a couple games. So it'll be fun. How about you, Schmoopy? How's your week been, friend?
Sure. So did some coaching this week. My charges, those of my tutelage are absolutely nuts. Completely bat. You know what? I accidentally put my son on a team of like just crazy kids, like crazy kids.
Oh no,
they
crazy
are
breeds crazy. They just
constantly tackling each other and beating each other up and kicking the ball away from each other. They're all stimming at the same time. Like, it's insanity.
You're trying to like breed the like 90s, maybe late 80s Pistons. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, they're
Is it like mob
something
mentality where like it spreads? Like one kid goes crazy and then they all start going crazy and suddenly they're all crazy.
It's like dominoes. So like one kid
falls
will
down
kick
and
my
then all of them fall down.
No. So it's like my son will be like, my son will get triggered where it's like somebody will kick his ball. And I'll be like, what the heck? Why'd you kick my ball? And then like in the process of getting his ball back, he will like knock away another kid's ball on accident. And then having knocked away that kid's ball, you're talking like, it sparks off a conflict that had been bubbling over for a while in like another group. So like the entire team just like tries to beat each other up like constantly. And the coach there is, the way that we have it set up is like a lot of the parents who are volunteering who are coaches, they've never played before. So like I'm kind of like the expert there running the practice, and they're facilitating me pretty much. And it works great. It's an awesome system. But where it's going a little bit sideways is like trying to the one parent who is coaching, he's awesome. He's very patient, way more patient than I would be. And he's a nice guy, but like, he's like, while he's dealing very calmly with a conflict behind him, like another new one has sparked. And so it's like coaching this year has been challenging. It's had its challenges. Let's just put it that way.
Trying to quash the conflicts is trying to fight a hydra
all the time.
It's like trying to fight a hydra. You try and slay one head, two more grow in its place. And you're dealing with one, right, two more conflicts in its wake.
You're trying to teach a kid soccer, and they're just like refusing because they're busy, beating each other up for reasons. So it's quite something. So that's been fun during my week, but I've been like getting on streams on Tuesdays and Thursdays and kind of just sitting there like a zombie, just kind of with my brain off, being like, and playing like low effort stuff, because it's like, holy crap, man, I can't actually like attempt anything more right now. I just don't have it in me. So that's been, but that is fun in its own way. Chaos and everything. It's fun in its own way. What else has been going on with my week?
Did you hit 11X?
I did it twice on EU and Asia, which was nice.
Nice.
It meant I could camp successfully there. That was cool. I also did yesterday, the last day of the month. I made a TikTok Cthulhu lock because my theory was like, TikTok Warlock doesn't require a whole lot of like complicated setups and could be just fine if we just, I don't know, just gutted it out and put in a bunch of old Cthulhu cards. And so I had a good time playing around with that. That was fun. Last but not least, today we're climbing. I climbed with token DH for most of the day. For most of the day, I was a good boy. I climbed with token DH. And then I decided at one point, I was like, you know what? I just want to turn my brain off. It's just, I don't want to think. I need to do something else. This deck is too difficult, and it really is. It was actually really rewarding because Martian Boo gave Token DH a shot for his stream. And it was cool because, Martian's a really talented player, but he sits down and he goes to try to play the deck, and he's just like, he's making misplays, and he's just like, man, this is hard. And like no one's giving him a hard time. We're just like, yeah, no, it's hard. So I was using like 120% of my brain for like, I would say 32 games. And then I switched over to 100 Armor Warrior, and I am currently farming discard nice. Warlocks. I went on like a 9-1 streak at some point. I think right now.
Oh wow!
I'd have to check. I'm probably somewhere along the lines of quick maths. I'm like 17-3.
Wow!
Since I swapped.
That's even good for wild.
Seems good.
Pretty good.
Again, it's early days, so I'm not seeing any TikTok. I did lose to a boar hunter. My heart is in my. I did auto concede to a hostage mage. Like there are a couple matchups that are really not great or possible, but hoping that we'll get the day one legend still. There's still some time before it's no longer day one. But we're cruising pretty much, gain 100 armor, aggro usually leaves. And if it's a little bit tricky and you need to manipulate something, it's not that hard to shuffle your cards and then put them back in the order you want. So
sweet.
Nothing crazy.
Sounds fun.
What do we got for news?
Welcome to the news. The news is so good.
Well, the other day, Play Hearthstone posted on social medias about what they spoke about earlier this year, and that is that class sets are almost here. And so they teased us with this cool little image here and then provided us a link. So let's check that out now. So take a first look at Hearthstone's new class sets. So yes, earlier in the year, they teased that this was going to happen. So they're going to pull back the curtain and tell us what it's all about. So starting with patch 35.4, mini sets, they're not going to be a thing for a while. We're going to be getting the class sets instead. So they mentioned that they love how mini sets shake things up, but they've decided that they're going to try a different type of innovation going forward, which is the class set. So what is the class set? I feel like that's self-explanatory, but I guess let's get into it. The class set is, it's cards for a single class. Interesting. So what's going to happen is we got 4 class sets that are going to be released each time with 3 waves. 3 times 4 equals 12 throughout the year. So unlike mini sets, which are offered a small number of cards to every class, the idea is that class sets are going to focus on a concentrated amount of classes to make these ones, more impactful, and it's just going to be cooler for those select classes. So we got Druid, Hunter, Paladin, and Mage. So each of these classes will be receiving a tailored set of cards designed to dial up class fantasy, support new and exciting archetypes, and give you plenty of room to experiment in deck building and gameplay. So why are they doing this? Do you ask? Because I asked that question because I thought it was a little weird.
Why?
Right.
Hydra?
Why Hydra? Hydra?
Hydra.
Well, the design team says that you get stronger class moments. So focusing on fewer classes lets us give each distinct game plan and identity, making them shine more than ever before. Interesting, right? Okay, so more notable meta shifts. I figured this kind of makes sense. So it says concentrated releases brings clear day one changes. You'll see what's new and feel how the landscape shifts right away. So yeah, I kind of feel like when you release something for only certain classes, people are going to be trying them, and the meta will probably shift unless you just keep playing the broken thing. But people are going to be trying, like, let's say just like Rogue really, really sucks, and they release a whole new set. I guess the idea is to shift the meta, and everyone's going to play like the worst class right now, and like see if they can make it work. And I'm like, I almost want to get into this like right now, but I think that's not a bad idea. When like certain classes are struggling, they can sort of target them and like really target those ones. But the third point that they have of why they're trying class sets is more impactful updates throughout the year. So different classes will rotate into the spotlight, keeping the meta dynamic without changing everything at once. So similar to the previous point. So like maybe your favorite class is not part of the initial lineup. That's fine. They say that could be a bummer, but they're going to approach each class, try to make them shine brighter. And when your turn comes, I mean, it'll come. So I think it's kind of cool that they're spreading it out a little bit. Any thoughts on that before we move on to preview these?
I know that they said that one of the things they were trying to avoid is the quote-unquote pack filler cards. They felt like in the past there were too many of them, and they're just like, you know what, like we can turn these into cards that people actually want to play and actually want to do something with. So that seems like, a good utility there. So that can also help. And also, not for nothing, people complain about neutrals being way too strong all the time in standard.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a way that they can sort of address that.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the same time, like neutrals are there for the like people that can't afford stuff from each class and all that sort of thing. Like it's a benefit, but I understand that they can be OP, but it's there for a reason.
Well, it does
neutrals.
track with we have exactly. Agreed, Schmoopydady. It completely tracks with what they said in the what was the video that like you and I listened to like right before that one pod about
I forget what they were doing with that.
Yeah, but they talked about wanting to promote that. Previously, there have been a number of really polarizing legendaries. Like, think your Denathriuses, your Kazakusans, your, strong legendaries that are neutral, and how it's kind of monotonized the play experience because, you're going to see Kazakusan no matter what it is you're facing. And yeah. Mini sets in the past have been pretty impactful, and we'll see if these class sets are as impactful. But typically, it's the like star legendary that shines, and that you see in all of the classes. So doing this kind of meta shakeup where it's just class specific is interesting. We'll see, like, if it means that like whatever the star card is ends up getting like hit with the nerf hammer like stupid quick, because you can only play it in either mage, hunter, paladin, or druid. Like it's not something that is actively available to all of the classes. So we'll see. I mean, I'm excited to see how it plays out, and I'm TBD.
All right, so they're calling these the Restoration of Azeroth class sets. So what does that mean? The lore behind it is Deathwing has devastated Azeroth, and now that it's time to rebuild, Druid, Hunter, Paladin, Mage are going to lead the charge to mend the broken lands and restore Azeroth to its former glory. So the theme of rejuvenation and empowerment runs through these class sets, offering new combos and synergies. So each class set delivers a full package of 7 new cards. And we have a preview of some of them. So we don't have everything, but we do have a couple here. So I'm going to read the note on Druid, right? So Druid's focus on healing Azeroth is by restoring broken ecosystems. That seems like a Druid thing to do, you know, with the trees. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Good for the druids.
Yeah.
Delightful.
So the Druid class is set. The Druid class set is built for a longer game. All right. So sorry, sheep. No aggro Druid for you.
The first thing that they're highlighting, I'm totally going to play in a standard aggro Druid anyway. It doesn't matter. It's not going to be good there, but I'm going to do it.
Gonna do it. So mixing spells and minions with powerful delayed payoffs. So Wizened Wildspeaker. We have got this one down here. Actually, let's talk about the first one here. What is this? Bashana Rune Totem, right? So it's a legendary. 7 mana, 4/4 minion.
Look at those stats. Oh, glorious.
4/4.
Yeah.
Battle Cry, get 3 2/2 treants.
Yeah.
Carve 12 mana worth of nature spells into them. Battle Cry for the treants, cast another card. Sheep, do you know how this works?
So the way that I understand it, and I could be wrong, but the way that I understand it is like whenever you're carving, you're discovering a spell. So you know that it's going to be a total of 12 mana. So if you get one that's like a huge one, then you know that the next one's going to be like
Dorky.
say you get like a super small or whatever, which may not be a bad thing. Like you could just like get an Innervate and then you're just playing a free mana treant. Like, you know, it's standard. It's not as powerful as our wild, right? It also means that you can like load up on a big spell for having a super impactful thing as well. So that's kind of how I want to approach it. You know, the feast or famine. What's probably going to be best is, you know, choosing more mid-rangey, kind of more middle mana e spells whenever they're offered, so that you keep your possibilities open for the successive discovers. Again, this is how I'm assuming it works. It could just be like, here's 12 mana's worth of stuff, and then you see what it is. TBD. Either way, I'm going to play it because, you know, Druid in standard has the, I think, 3 mana spell that like creates 2 treants and it gets like +1 for every treant that's died this game. So like, you know, even whenever the deck wasn't built around treants, like there's so many things that actually work that, hey, it's worth including. And hey, look, here's a 7 mana legendary. Yeah, the initial stats are poop, but like you're playing it for get big, cheap like effect later. Like you're essentially investing mana to get like a big like Timmy like thing later. And they're treants, so of course I'm going to like them. Like Dame Hazel Bark's brethren. Like, of course.
Real and true, King.
Real and true, King. All right. Well, the next one is the Wizened Wild Speaker. So the Wizened Wild Speaker rewards you for skipping a minion play, letting you invest a turn now for a big swing turn later. Ooh, how do you like this, sheep? So it's Wizened Wild Speaker. I always want to say Wind Speaker. Is a 5 mana 3/7, no tribe, taunt, battle cry. If you didn't play a minion last turn, refresh 3 mana crystals. So let's say this is turn 5. You play this, you refresh 3, you got another 3 mana crystals to go.
Yeah. So it's essentially a worse ROI version of the things we've seen before, which typically are either free or 1 mana net. Like I'm drawing a blank on the name, but the 3 mana 4/3 dragon, where if you're holding a dragon in your hand, refresh 2 mana crystals. It's essentially a net 1 mana. You just have to have attained the other mana first. Wizened Wild Speaker doesn't require you to build your deck around something or to like actively like be playing more of this or less of that. Like you can just have a really heavy hand, and okay, that just means that you get to do something later. That's cool. Maybe on 3 or on 2. Yeah, on 2 you play Trail Mix, where you get 2 more mana the next turn.
Can confirm.
And so then you have 5 total mana the next turn. You haven't played a minion, so boom, you get this, and then you refresh the 3, which is how many you would have the next turn anyway. And so then you can still wild growth, do whatever you would normally do with your mana. You're a druid, you have plenty of things to do, right? I mean, seems fine. It's not flashy, but it's one of those cards that just like holds a deck together, and it's got taunt and 7 health. So like, I mean, I think we're going to see it.
Yeah, I mean, how many times do we ramp to 4? Or you could do like ramp to 4. You could ramp on 2 and like vait this out, and you're in a good position, right? Like this is I think this is like interesting for Reno Druid. Like one of those kind of like, well, how can we do a little bit more anti-aggro kind of thing?
Oh yeah, and it doesn't mess with the like if you're doing Vargoth Oaken summons shenanigans. Like it doesn't mess with that pool. Could be.
I don't know anybody who is. You might be the last one, sheep, if you're doing that. But
I mean,
you're not wrong about
not.
that. You're probably not. You're probably not.
But if that's a thing that you're considering.
Yeah, fair
game. All right, let's see what they've teased for Hunter. So the Hunter class set, Hunters are helping Azeroth recover by protecting creatures displaced by the Cataclysm and forming new bonds with them. So we have the Hunter minion, legendary, 5 mana 4/6, Talia, Earthstrider. So battle cry, your cards that summon animal companions summon 1 more this game. Wait. So what you're telling me is if I play this for the rest of the game, if I play my animal companion card, I get 2? And then what's that one from Old Gods that gives you 3? That gives you 4?
Call of the Wild?
Call of the Wild. So we
Which is in fact in standard currently. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna do that in standard, and I mean,
Have we gotten clarification whether or not this will work with Tafish's hero power yet?
I don't recall.
It's a hero card.
Interesting.
It's a hero card,
It says
but it's not, something you play.
Because
so
it's your hero power. Yeah, it's your
Correct.
cards that
So-
summon. Your cards that summon. I'm gonna go with no.
I would guess no too, but you never know.
Yeah, you never know. So the Hunter's class set revolves around upgrading your animal companions over the course of the game. So we have this one.
Yeah.
Tame Pet. Replace your future animal companions with random beasts that cost 1 more. And draw a card. So you're searching for bigger beasts. You turn them into stronger companions. As the game processes, things get bigger and bigger. Sounds cool.
Right?
So, funny enough, this is probably the most wild viable card because we don't use it for all the text at the very top.
Uh-huh.
We run it because it's 1 mana and draw a card
Yep.
for Odd Hunter, and that's it. That's all we really care
Let's
about.
do this.
Like that's all we need, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, we that's the funny part is like this probably is the most wild viable of maybe any of the cards that we're seeing tonight. If only because it's going to go. We know it's going to go straight into Odd Hunter because they are desperate for draw.
Amazing. Like me. All right, so
Can confirm.
Paladin. So, more lore here, but basically Paladins restore Azeroth by rebuilding communities and bringing order back to a fractured world. So we have the legendary 5 mana, 5/6 Arator the Redeemer. So Battlecry, double the stats of all friendly Silverhand recruits and give them taunt. Are we playing Odd Paladin? Are we playing Dude Paladin? What's going on here? Sheep, you sound excited.
I mean, it sure looks like we're going to be playing some Dude Pally. Looking at this and the next weapon next card, which is a weapon that we're about to talk about, I think standard might be, and I mean, I may play a version we'll get to what it is with the weapon, but I may play a wild version of this too with Odd Paladin. We'll see.
Well, we'll just bring that up right now. So Emboldening Blade is a 5 mana. It's not cheap. It's common though. 5 mana weapon, 3 attack, 2 swings. Battlecry, give your Silverhand recruits +1/+1 this game. This isn't like give them +1/+1 they're on the field. This is this game.
Uh-huh.
And this isn't like an early card.
No.
It's a bit of a later card, so we're building towards a bigger man.
A bigger and bigger dude. Yeah. I mean, it's everything that I like. It's Dude Paladin. It's like a kind of buff Paladin, but instead of buffing in your hand, it's buffing the general dude aura, which is cool. If
Dudes.
Right? Yeah. If it's consistent with the way that they've treated these kinds of buffs in the past, if you silence a dude that's been buffed with Emboldening Blade, then it won't get smaller beyond that. Is that correct?
I think you're hitting the nail on the head there. I think that you might be right.
So That would
Because
be
it's not
kind of
like
cool.
You didn't buff it on board necessarily. You buffed future things. And I think it's just static.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
That's my recollection as well. So I
At
would
me when I'm wrong. But I think so.
love to see, that something that's a little bit more silence resistant and still board based would be kind of cool. And, Odd Paladin is one place. We'll see if do any of the other cards incentivize us to play just regular dude pally instead of odd. I don't know. We'll find out. Excitement abounds.
All right, so Mage. So mages work to restore Azeroth by stabilizing ley lines and bringing volatile magic back under control. All right. So we've got, we got a bunch here. So we have 3 ley lines that they're advertising. I guess it is advertising.
True.
We've got Bursting Leyline, Crystallized Leyline, and Leyline Nexus. So the first one is a 4-mana arcane spell. Deal 4 damage to a random enemy minion. Excess damage hits the enemy hero. Okay. The second one, Crystallized Leyline. Summon a random 6-cost minion. Okay, that's also an arcane one. And then 2-mana Leyline Nexus. Draw a card. It costs 1 less. So cycle. What do you think? Who wants to go? Cheap, you can go. Schmoopydady, do you got something you want to say about this?
I think the ley lines for wild are kind of poopy. I think they're kind of big poopy. I'm not a huge fan. I don't have a lot of hope. I'm gonna be a grumpy Gussie about it.
I think the Nexus could see play.
So I'm gonna agree with you, Schmoopydady.
But
because this is one of those kind of parasitic things that it's not like it connects to beasts or dudes or whatever. So I just wanted to yes and that hard agree.
Yeah. That's kind of the problem, right? It's not its own special thing that we really care about. It's a little bit like the word you used. It's one of the classic parasitics that people get grumpy about.
You know what? Maybe you just if you were going to discover one of these and you're just cycling, I guess I would.
Sure.
Leyline Nexus, right? I think that one's good. I maybe wouldn't put it in my deck. But
I mean, Bursting Leyline and Leyline Nexus are both fine. I mean, Leyline Nexus, is the only wild viable. Maybe possibly put it in our deck if there's a very specific circumstance. Maybe we're doing arcane things, right?
Girls can make it 0, right? The
arcane.
girl decks can make it 0, so it makes sense maybe for Quest Mage, but it's it's just not that. Without the discount, it's not that impressive.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's
Bursting Leyline. If I discover it, I'm dealing damage and maybe it goes face. Sick.
Well, we also got a legendary. So let's see if I get this right. The Arcanomicon.
Yeah, it's like the Cryptonomicon, but arcane.
Yeah. The Arcanomicon. You ever watch The Evil Dead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
What?
I've never watched the Evil
never
Dead.
seen-
You asked me if I've watched the Evil Dead. I said no.
Oh my gosh, really? You don't know who Ash is? The man who's got a chainsaw for an arm?
Nah.
Oh.
Is he like Ash Ketchum from Pokemon?
No, it's
Army Morning Chat said, "Oh my dear."
It's directed by
And it's a
Sam Raimi,
Necronomicon,
right?
by the way.
Well, yeah, that's also a thing, but Cryptonomicon is the Neil Stevenson book.
Yeah, and I know that one too. Oh my gosh, yeah. Anyway, you don't know what you've been missing, Schmoopydady. It's like
Fair enough. Apparently not.
Yeah.
And Army of Darkness, like, come on the third one. Let's go. Anyway, back to the card. It's a 7 mana spell that says arcane spell again. By the way,
Yeah.
I guess they're going down this theme. Let all 3.
Sorry, Red Chat. This is my boomstick.
This is my boomstick. Okay, so choose an upgrade for your ley lines. Get all 3 ley lines. Choose an upgrade for your ley lines. So you have Energize, Unblock, and Empower. Energize is your ley lines trigger an additional time this game. Okay. Unblock, your ley lines cost 2 less this game. And Empower is increase the effects of your ley lines by 2 this game. This sounds super complicated, and I don't know if it's good until I play it. And it's probably not going to be good in Wild.
7 mana to make your Leyline Nexus an Arcane Intellect.
I feel like you could do
no,
things
actually, it's not. It's not. Sorry.
No.
I take it back. It's 2 mana, make those spell cost 3 less.
I feel like on turn 7, there's probably better things you could be doing. Yeah. Like win. You could probably win.
It's arcane. We can make it cost, like, in theory, 5.
Yeah.
4. We can make it 4. We can even biscuit and get it, like, we can kind of like play the girls and then biscuits and then kind of like get it down. It's just people are gonna try and make this work. It's gonna take a lot of setup. There is that funny dragon deck, right? There's the funny fabled dragons that are all sort of arcane based, which is something to sort of keep an eye on.
True, very true. And the fact that you do get all 3 ley lines, I mean, that feels relevant. Like,
yeah, sure. Get all 3. Yeah.
So you get a copy of all of them, and you're buffing them. Seems relevant. It
is
doesn't
nice.
Seem like something that we're gonna do in our format.
It's like 7 mana, draw 3,
which is fine. Yeah,
with the bonuses. Also, if you reduce their cost by 2 each, one of them 0, the other one's 4, the other one's 2. Could be
or
okay.
If they trigger by 2, then 2 mana draw 2, and they both cost less. Or 6 mana get 2 6/6s, or the deal 4 damage to a random enemy minion twice, and excess damage goes face. I mean, it seems viable in standard, but we're never gonna see this in Wild.
Memnarch, I agree with you. It's gonna be hard in standard too. But we'll see.
I only think that we'll see it in standard, but because there is like an arcane.
Well, it's a class set too, right? Like that's what they're pushing is these. That's the point of this, right? Is everyone is gonna want to try these, and we're gonna get into how to acquire these. So actually, that's a good segue into seeing how accessible these are to you. So how to acquire the class sets. So the Druid, Hunter, Paladin, Mage class sets deliver 7 new cards each. So you get 1 legendary, 2 epics, 2 rares, 2 commons with full play sets of these. So that's 13 cards per set and 52 cards total across all 4. So class sets can be purchased individually or as a bundle using runestones, which other than the runestones that have been provided for me, I don't think I've bought runestones yet, but you can also use gold.
Oh, I have.
Gold or real money. So if you want to buy an individual set, they are $9.99 USD, 1,000 runestones, or 1,200 gold. If you want to get the class sets bundle, so this includes all 4. So what else? You get all 4 class sets, 2 copies of the Cultivating Sprite bonus card, And Volcanic Crush Light Hero Skin. Cool. Available for $19.99, 2,000 rune zones, or 2,500 gold. So basically, you got to spend the 2,500 gold if you want these, right? Because it's 1,200 gold for one set, or 2,500 gold for all four. So, yeah, best deal. Then you have
It's the best deal for sure. Yeah.
Someone make a whale sound, please.
Here's the thing too. If you buy one of them, like
Don't
say
stop.
you're super amped to get Druid, you won't be able to then get the OG bundle. It'll invalidate that one. So heads up if you're wanting to do those things, invest in the big one first, because that's the only one that you can get, and that's how you get the those ones. So,
And finally, the golden restoration of Azarath. Schmoopydady, please don't stop the whale sounds. Includes
whale sounds intensify.
all cards. All right, so you get all the things in the hero skin and all that. It's all golden. It's all super shiny. It's amazing, and it costs $80 USD, 8,000 rune stones, or 12,000 gold. I personally, if I had a choice as to which one I would buy with my own monies, I would spend 2,500 gold on this, but it's up to you, chat.
I've got the gold saved up for the gold one, but now Papa Blizzard is giving us the gold one, so thank you, Papa Blizzard. But
so yeah, Papa Blizzard did help us not have to be whales. We just got inherited as whales. We're just
and I get to bank that gold for the next one. So like, all right,
let's go. Right, actually, this hero skin looks kind of badass. That hunter hero skin.
Yeah.
Seems like a pretty
Volcanic
sweet.
Crush.
We'll take
It's like
those.
King Crush, like
Oh, man.
illuminated with.
Can I get a plushie that looks like that?
by like lava from the inside, like, and it looks like he's about to spew fire. Like, oh, it does look so kicking rad.
All right, so it mentioned this cultivating sprite card. So it says restoration of Azarath class sets can also be opened in Cataclysm packs or crafted with dust, including the cultivating sprite bonus card, which we mentioned up above that you can get in the bundles. So this neutral is a 3-mana 3/3 no tribe minion cultivating sprite. Epic Battlecry, get a 3-cost bulb that casts 3 random 1-cost spells. It upgrades each turn. So Blooming Bulb, yeah, says exactly what it's supposed to say. Cast 3 random 1-cost spells, upgrades each turn.
It is a nature spell.
So
For what that's worth. I mean,
yeah, if you have a quest to play 12 nature spells, this is probably a hard way to do it.
A quest.
I don't know. Sounds cool. Maybe, you know what? If you're just playing casually and stuff, this card could be fun. See what you get. What's in the box?
it's reminiscent of Gorgon Zormu, right? Like, kind of. Because Gorgon Zormu was a
Upgrades.
3-mana upgraded each turn. These ones are, there's just spells. So it could be a buff spell that you're then putting on your opponent's minion. It could be the Shadow Word Pain that you're then using on your own cultivating sprite. So like, there's definitely more variance to that, but I mean, we learned from Yogg, like random spells are good, right?
Yeah.
in our format, they're pretty wide open. It's who knows what's going to happen. In standard, you could probably like gauge for like, 8 mana spells, maybe a small pool of things. I don't know. I haven't looked at it, but
Yeah, fair enough.
I guess you could like just play this like on 3s tempo card and just like wait for end game. You could play this twice and see what you get by the end. Cool.
Right. Yeah. Or whenever you just have free mana, like tempo good.
Sometimes happen. Free mana, right? All right. When do these class sets release? Well, the restoration for Azeroth class sets for Druid, Hunter, Paladin, and Mage release on May 5th. That is 4 days from now at the time of this recording at 10 a.m. Pacific. Cool. Oh, and so we mentioned at the beginning that there are 4 being released at a time, 3 times throughout the year, and some people's brains were cooking real quick going, wait, 4 times 3 is 12. We don't have 12 classes. What is going on? Well, there's a note at the bottom saying, yes, your eyes are not deceiving you. There are 11 classes in Hearthstone and yet 12 class sets. That is because one class is getting a second set. So start guessing. So take a guess. And we'll figure it out later. Anyways, so there's going to be a reveal schedule going forward on...
My guess is that a new class comes out, gets 2, and I'm going to say Priest doesn't get one.
You'd be funny is if like they have like backups. If like one of the sets does real bad, they have the backup set for like each one to like balance a crappy one from earlier or something. I mean, that'd be kind of neat. It's just a backup for everything.
I would imagine if they were doing that, it would be like the same general cards, but like a nerfed version or a buffed version, like depending.
Yeah, I don't know.
That way it's still thematic and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, I think that strategy is a good way to proactively balance. Seems fun.
Anyway, there's like a set reveal schedule, but all of this is basically up until now, and it's only what they've already showed us. So there's nothing future. This only goes from 27th till May 1st. So that is all for that. The other thing that we did get was good old red circle day, because there was no green.
No green.
It's still red and green circled day though.
Yeah. It's still red and green circled, but today was just red. Green was left behind, unfortunately. So we have flight maneuvers and
I had to read those books.
Prescient Slither Drake. We're just straight up told. You didn't even have to like analyze the art. You're just told what cards were getting nerfed.
Mm-hmm.
Which books did you have to read?
Oh, the Left Behind books. They're
Oh.
yeah.
Anyway, so there's Hearthstone updates, and it's like 99.1 million % Battlegrounds, but we did have the 2. So the dev comment is well met. We're happy with the metagame. We're happy how it is right now. Wide mix of competitive classes, archetypes, seeing play. Because things are generally in a good spot, this patch is intentionally small and focused on making light adjustments to few of the stronger decks. With our new class sets, click here, arriving in patch 35.4, we want to take some time to see how they shake things up before making any big adjustments. So, Prescient Slither Drake. This bad boy. So this is our 7 old was a 6/8, right? 7 mana 6/8 dragon neutral. This is that elusive one.
9.
Yeah, well, yeah, there we go.
Been nerfed.
Yeah, and now it's a 5/8. It is now a 5/8, and so this is that elusive. You're right. It was nerfed before. Yeah. I mean, I guess it's just still too good. So it's someone that costs 3 less. If you're holding another dragon, it's elusive. We'd play it in any dragon deck like Herald and whatnot and standard. Good card. Anything else to say?
Yeah.
No?
Still a good card.
No, just kind of a beast in the other formats. Not the greatest in ours.
But
You don't
it's
really
dragon.
see dragon decks, but yeah, I know, but it's not great in ours.
No.
Yeah. No, unfortunately not. And you know what? Maybe it will be at a full reversion. We'll see. Because I can't see them going halfway. They got to put this back. Anyway, the other one. Dun dun dun. Flight maneuvers. So, Pally spell. Old was give your minions +1/+1 and divine shield. Now, like they always do, just +1 attack and divine shield.
Card's still good.
Yeah, this reminds me of what's the Murloc that doesn't do +1/+1 anymore?
Oh, War Leader.
War Leader. Yeah. When War Leader did both, it was like
Bastado.
yeah.
It was.
Yeah, so statistically speaking, you could make an argument that Call to Arms Paladin is the best deck in the format. Like, that's not like a crazy, insane take to have. The reality is token DH is probably being held back a little bit by pilot skills, so that number's a little bit lower. But needless to say, there was a chance that the entire deck was going to basically functionally be deleted if this was nerfed too badly. So the fact that it only got like knock 1 off the health when really half the time you're casting the split spell just for the divine shield, not even for the buffs, just get the bubble on the boys. They dodged a bit. They dodged a bullet with this particular nerf. I thought this was a light touch. And in general too, I think they said in the notes that this was more for addressing complaints that were stemming from lower ELO. It was not necessarily higher up the ladder. It was more lower up the ladder.
No, both of these were being seen higher up the ladder as well, for sure.
I thought they mentioned specifically though that it was just like, well, these were it.
They were focused on making light adjustments to a few of the stronger decks. Yeah,
Why did I make that up? Was that a fever dream?
maybe.
Might have been a fever dream.
It does say in the deck
And
comment,
they've done that before.
focusing on making light adjustments to a few of the stronger decks.
Okay, so I made up in fever dream. For some reason, I thought I remember them saying something along the lines of like, all right, and this was because like Dragon Warrior and Aggro Paladin aren't necessarily world killers up at the top of the ladder, but like they could be strong, but they're not the straws stirring the drink, as I like to say, in the format.
Yeah, kind of like through 10x down. I mean, you'll every once in a while see one in 11x too. But yeah,
I will say where I am in standard, Dragon Warrior can't lose. I feel like.
Yeah, Dragon Warrior is still pretty good. I feel like, at least in my band of like high 10, low 11 X. But I'm not maxi. Yeah, but both good nerfs. Like both light adjustments. Both cards are still good. Still seeing play. I've still seen both of them today, and the decks, the power level was shaved off a tiny bit, but the cards were still very good. So I mean, I think that's a good nerf given the situations and the context that they provided, and totally agree. Like the effect seems to be as intended. Good nerf.
Agree.
Well, speaking of nerfs, in our discussion topic, we're going to dive into Nerf decks that did not die. So Schmoopydady put together a list. We have 4 to go through. Starting off with, unless you want to give us an introduction to this, but Astral Communion's our first deck.
Yeah, okay. So Astral Communion, right? So everybody is painfully aware of Astral Communion Druid and was probably celebrating with joy that this deck had bit the bucket to a certain extent, unless you're a big Timmy, in which case you're just like, oh, me and my fun deck. So funny thing about this deck in particular, its good matchups are still actually shockingly good. It was one of the decks that we right now credit for keeping TikTok Warlock at least at one point in check. We assumed it was one of the pieces that was to the puzzles that was keeping it in check at the time. Now, having TikTok Warlock completely unfettered, it has some people reminiscing, oh, the good old days, back when we had Astral Communion Druid to bail us out. So that's a funny little thing that has sort of happened where people are like, oh man, I wish we still had Astral Communion Druid around to help us out on this one. Aggro is absolutely miserable with it. Would not recommend, not at all. So don't expect to do well if you're doing aggroing in that. But as far as it goes, with just beating up piles, it's fantastic still at beating up piles.
I like that. Oh, I like beating up piles.
One extra little detail I almost forgot. Really cool. Something that's really cool that the deck now is concerned about is the idea that it got basically it's one of its best cards ever, Marin. What's his full name? Marin the something or other. The manager. Turns out top deck post Astral Communion, top deck Marin into ripping the rod into playing a bunch of 1-mana big boys and big girls. That's a solid turn. That looks really strong. I think with this version, let me look. Yeah, with this version, I'm back on Trail Mix just because I got to try and boost into Astral Communion, which is now 5 and not 4, a little bit more consistently. But deck, dog still hunts, deck still works. If you like beating up piles, if you like chasing down TikTok Warlocks, and you're okay with losing to aggro, play some Astral Communion Druid.
Plus, Carrier's a rude card, so play Carriers.
The funny thing is when this deck was good and popular, there were multiple lists that would cut a carrier, and it confused the hell out of me as far as why anybody would ever cut carrier. But I digress. That was one of the things that we thought, oh, the deck is dead. Deck is not dead. You can still, in fact, play it. Okay, next one. Barnes Druid. Sorry. Barnes Druid. So you might think, well, how are they going to do this now? They nuked Ysayle. There's no way we could do this combo anymore. Well, you can. You just do it with Kael'thas. It's a whole lot less consistent. It's a whole lot less comfy. However, it does still work. You can still get there, and it is like Quasar levels of win rate. It doesn't totally suck. It's not good. It doesn't totally suck, but it's also not good. I think that's the way I would term it.
That makes sense.
You got to load in a lot more 0-mana stuff. You got to hope that you draw your spell damage things sooner. You got to ramp to a little bit more mana. You have to pay attention to every third spell is going to be when you get your discount. So you have to save your Sleep Under the Stars until then. You can imagine you're going to lose to. Yeah, you have to think. You have to count. You have to. It's cringe. It's just cringe. It's just terrible. There's
so many easier ways to win.
I don't disagree, Hydra. I don't disagree at all. But this is playable. This is playable. It's not dead. You can still play it.
And whenever my opponent does something like this, and if they do get one of these off, whenever it's something like this, it's like, yeah, okay, like you got me.
You won.
You know?
Yeah. You deserve it. Slow clap. You got me. That's hilarious. You put way more effort in than I did.
Yeah.
Champions Druid. Ah, yes. This was one of the decks that was going to be running the format if they didn't nerf Ysayle, and you'll notice that Ysayle is still in this deck. Schmoopy, there's Barnes and Ysayle in the same deck. What are they doing? All right, so
oh my goodness.
When you look at the stats on this deck, it's about 600 games, almost 700 games. Maybe at this point it's probably 800 games. I'm going to say about 700 of those are played on the China server. Nobody is playing this on the Western servers. I tried it out for viewer decks the other night. Actually felt kind of okay. Felt kind of playable. But you got to do some weird stuff. You have to make sure that you have Ysayle in hand before you play Barnes. You're looking aggressively to ramp, but let's say you know the stars do align. You rip a Barnes on, let's say not 5, because that's a little bit, you know, that nobody's mental enough to go in on 5. Let's say you rip a Barnes on 6, and you happen to have a Shattered Reflections in hand, and you happen to hit A&R. I mean, A&R Shattered Reflections at that point in the game usually just wins the game. You've got multiple A&Rs. You can heal with one, you can draw with the other, or you can just refresh your mana crystals and do silly stuff. Like, some have called this A&R shattered the deck. For good reasons. In fact, that combo is so strong that people were even trying to play this in a Renathal deck. Yes, they were playing Barnes in a Renathal deck, and they were winning with it. It looks cursed. The normal way that you win with this deck, of course, is to play Champions of Azeroth, get a Tony, get a Velen, get them down for cheap, and then spam a bunch of burn spells over the top to win that way. That's the ideal way to win, but mostly this deck can scrap it out for tempo. You can just dump a bunch of stats and be like, all right, good luck. Right? When in doubt, you could do something stupid like Shatter Reflections of Tyrion or something like that. So now it's like, all right, buddy, you're going to keep breaking through my 8/8s, but I'm going to get a sword each time. So good luck. Still a functional deck, even though it's a little bit herky-jerky now.
A little wild, only one Nightshade Bud. I mean, and one Innervate, but the Nightshade Bud is the one that struck me as the most head-scratching for the archetype.
Well, I guess because you're always paying 8 for it and not 1 for it, right? Like, you're not ripping it off Ysayle as often. Probably makes it more awkward. The version of the deck that was given to me was still running the 3 mana make a minion dormant for 2 turns spell, which was only really good for like Nazmani and Egglock. Like if they tempoed out a Nazmani Bloodweaver, you'd make it dormant for 2 turns. You could usually figure out the game and solve it and go forwards without ever having to interact with the Nazmani. Ditto with Egg, especially funny with Egg to make it dormant for 2 turns. Egglock is literally sitting there doing nothing until its Egg is unlocked, and by then they've probably already lost. But that had no place.
That's cute.
So I cut it and I put in a second Bud, just on instinct. That's where I would have gone. You'll notice we're also only running 1 copy of Gift. We're only running 1 copy of Vate. I like at least 1 Vate in a list like this, because usually a Vate, you know, just having a coin on a Barnes deck is usually pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know. Fun deck, does work.
Can confirm. Speaking of fun decks, I have a deck that I don't find fun that we're going to highlight next, but a lot of people do. Hostage Mage. Still good.
Still good. Still very good. Actually, might be the hard counter to Token DH, which is the best deck in the format. This version is a mix of the original cook from Cyrus in the community, and then KVLT got his hands on it, but he didn't want to craft Wildfire, So I cut arcane
I love
missiles
the wildfires. That's cool.
in order to
Yeah.
add the wildfire. So every time you play a parrot, you increase your hero power. For those who are unsure with how this deck is supposed to work, you are basically setting up your spells so that Galactic Projection Orb is repeating high quality spells, and you functionally take your opponent hostage. So, for example, the only one is Wildfire, the only two is Shield Battery. We have multiple threes, including Objection, Ice Block, Frost Nova, and Solid Alibi. You're pretty happy with any of those most of the time getting repeated. And you can sort of emphasize it and make sure that you are guaranteed to get ice ones. Like, if you're playing it smart, you know which spells you need to play and which ones you don't in the right matchup. The only 4-drop is Potion of Illusion, and the only spell that costs 6 or more that qualifies for the Grey Sage pair to replay is Galactic Projection Orb. So you rip the orb. You've already ripped a potion. Your bird is going to keep repeating it over and over and over again. And if you're lucky enough to get a coin from the metal detector, it's at least mana neutral, which is nice because that means that you can, in theory, if you clear off your board, you can rip 7 birds a turn.
That's cute.
Or
Amazing.
if you're really clever, you can rip infinite birds by going Ceaseless Bird, Ceaseless Bird, Ceaseless Bird. You'll get a Potion of Illusion triggering, getting you a copy of Ceaseless. It gets you a copy of one of the birds, and then you just Ceaseless
Another
Bird,
copy
Ceaseless
of
Bird,
Leroy.
Ceaseless Bird, Ceaseless Bird, Ceaseless Bird, Ceaseless Bird, right? And you can see how high you can get your HP.
And so how do you win?
You win by tempo. You win a couple different ways. You win by freezing out the opponent's board and gaining armor. You win by ramping up your hero power and pinging them down. You win by bouncing board freeze minions, but if they don't have taunt, you can hit them in the face while their board's frozen. Something I do not want to gloss over that is really cute in this list are the use of the ethereal oracles. We don't have access to rewind or volume up in this particular deck, like we had an old Hostage Mage. So including the oracles as a draw engine to get your hands on your high quality spells that you absolutely need if you're going to get your Galactic Projection Orb online is really cute. I think, too, Orb's the only arcane spell in this list. So Orb is also repeated by Grand Magister Dawn Grasp, which can be helpful and to keep in mind if, let's say, you're a little bit desperate. Because not only will Dawn Grasp repeat one of each school spells, Dawn Grasp will also now repeat Orb, which will repeat the whole litany, and you can, maybe scam a bird or something off of that. I don't know, it could be fun.
You forgot about one win condition, and that's when your opponent realizes you're playing this deck and they just leave.
Correct. I will not dispute that.
Yeah.
That's why I had asked, because I conceded before, every time when it's like, oh yeah, I've lost. So it's like, oh, what does the actual in-game look like this time? And it makes sense. Thank you.
It looks pretty much the same. Something that people didn't realize is the number of games that Hostage Mage won without the Romath loop, and the lines you could take without the Romath loop. Charging up a Magister Dawn Grasp's hero power is a very, very legitimate win condition and should not be scoffed at because it's very effective when it happens.
Do we ever jam in a Reckless Apprentice?
Okay,
Or is that a little too extra? Is that a little too extra?
Here's
Little win more.
Here's the thing. Okay. KVLT has been going through an experimental phase. He's been checking out different draw engines to compete with the Shack because he didn't like the Shack. So he put in a small imbue package. I did not like the imbue package. I may have made fun of it a little bit. he's like, "Why are you guys so mean about my imbue package?" And it's like, "Cause it sucks. It sucks, in my opinion." So it's a thing you can do, but I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I guess it's only really good post on grasp, whereas everything else is good pre and post. So that makes sense. Really, I guess not necessarily post on grasp, post orb loop, in which case you're already winning the video game.
Yeah, and like, let's say we are doing imbue, you can't use your hero power at all now. Now you can't use your hero power at all, because if you use your hero power, you're going to be finding yourself in a position where you're jamming your board up with wisps, and you can't. Don't want to bounce them all the time. That's not.
Yeah.
You know, Mama taught you not to bounce your wisps.
All right. Well, I think that was the end of our list of decks that have been nerfed, but are still good.
They're not dead yet.
They're not dead. And I think if you've been playing Wild, I mean, you'll at least for sure be seeing Hostage Mage, because I still see it. Barnes Druid.
I've seen a few today.
I've run into.
I
haven't seen National Communion in the last little bit, but I'm sure it's still there.
Played a couple last night. Worth noting. Yeah, sure. Worth noting too, and this is funny. Worth noting that you also have Malygos Druid. Malygos Druid is also sort of a viable archetype that people can still play. I've lost to a couple today on my climb. So it's not that that's even that's funny. Not dead yet. Yeah, even that's not dead yet. Sag
indeed.
Sag.
Well, I think I'm gonna ask you questions, Schmoopydady.
Oh boy.
Unrelated Advice with Schmoopydady.
Hydra.
Schmoopydady. I'm going to start this segment with a confession. Okay. So I spent a long time in my career being on the health and safety committee. In fact, I was in charge of doing our SDS at work. I actually made the whole like online SDS and our quality management system where you could click on it. You could type in like a keyword. You could find this specific thing that you were looking for by just typing in oil or typing in grease or whatever. And you could find the product.
Okay.
On this, I put tablets on the walls, right? So you could go up and you could just like type a keyword in and you could find the thing that you were going to use, and you could figure out what PPE to use and what the potential dangers were and all this. I did, and I'll say it again, PPE. Anyway, so while I have done all that work, one of the chemicals that I used at work many times with never reading any sort of SDS, never knowing what PPE to use, is something called acetone. I've used acetone many times to just clean stuff off. You got glue stuck on something, like a sticker you couldn't get off. Yeah, you kind of are an acetone. I would like you to tell me, what have I subjected myself to? What dangers and risks have I put my body in risk of by using acetone with never reading anything or never really using any gloves or a mask or anything? What have I done? Or what could have I done? Tell me.
Sure. So, Do you want me to give? I actually know what acetone is and what it does.
Excellent. So
But do you want me to answer this like a wild player?
Yes. We can have the real answer post credits.
Okay. Okay. So what has almost happened, you absolute fool, is you've almost dissolved your bones to mush. Everybody knows that acetone is a deadly chemical that is capable of melting through many things, including flesh, bone, concrete, titanium, magnesium, and some other But yeah, you got out bare with your life on the line here, Bucko. I hope you are much more careful in the future.
Wiser words have never been spoken, and you heard that on.
Born to be wild.
I thought you were going to say that he plays wild because he has been around the acetone.
I played wild because I'm an
Now
acetone.
Now let's hear the real like science teacher answer.
Yeah, my dad uses it to clean off his. He frequently uses acetone to clean off his. At least sometimes it depends on what's there, right? Depends on what's there. He can't leave it on too long, but it does sublimate or whatever. You know, it poofs. So since it poofs, it's easy enough to use.